Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. Today, doing another truck mod here for my 2024 GMC Sierra. I have my old swing cases out of my 2021 Ford F-150. I think the swing cases are an awesome addition to any truck, so here we have the new swing cases going into the 2024 GMC Sierra. The reason why I love these swing cases is because you otherwise end up with a scenario where you're installing like a giant permanent toolbox, or you end up with these totes, which is what I used to do a long time ago, and you just kind of have them sliding around the bed of the truck. When you're talking about how you store things, the conversation between pickup trucks and SUVs, a lot of this kind of stuff, big chunks of metal, things like this, if you get in an accident, you do not want to have this kind of stuff in an SUV. So a big reason why I own a pickup truck is because I tend to have a lot of stuff like this, trailer hitches, things like that, that if you were to end up in an accident, those become projectiles and those themselves can end up killing you in the process. There's a story that I read a while ago about somebody who had a laptop on the inside of their vehicle and got in an accident, and that hit him in the head and killed him. So it's smart to keep the heavy stuff and sharp stuff, screwdrivers, things like that, out of the cab of your truck, especially when you're going to have children, as I do, in the back. If you look on the website for RealTruck, where I'll link in the description down below, they say that with the AT4, actually any of the trucks that have the multi-pro tailgate, that you cannot install them on the driver's side. And the reason is because of this grab bar. I don't see myself needing the grab bar. I liked how Ford had the grab bar in the tailgate. That seemed to be a little more useful. But with this truck, the way that this whole setup works, first of all, I don't need a grab bar because I can step up on this step. But they also have cutouts here, the stake pockets. So if you really needed to, you've got something to grab and can kind of get up into the back of the truck pretty easily. This, to me, would probably get used a half a dozen times the entire time I own the truck. The toolbox will get used all of the time. I decided when I was installing the bed rug to just eliminate that handbar and put a toolbox there instead. Oh, they've actually since rebranded these as RealTruck as opposed to the old ones that I had said swing case, and all of the parts and pieces are inside the toolbox itself, including the instructions. Okay, so we have instructions for the pivot lock. We'll get into that towards the end. Go through and follow the instructions step by step. Here we have our striker plates and our brackets. So they have this little plastic fastener. Gets everything aligned up in here. Now I'm working around the bed rug, kind of crush the bed rug underneath this bracket. I want this to be kind of holding everything in tight here. Got some sheet metal screws.
This is what men do.
It's men stuff,
yeah,
dude.
men
stuff. Men stuff.
I'm not lining this up level because the truck is sitting not level, but I am using this as a kind of a straight edge, and I also don't trust the tape line from the bed liner installation, so I just want to have something that kind of follows the body line here to help me. I'll just drive a self-tapper in here. So now that I got one driven down there, I should be able to put the bed rug back up underneath here. Okay, now we can get these other ones driven in. All right, so the rear bracket is mounted here. Got the bed rug tucked up underneath it. Got to attach this striker plate. It has to go behind the bed rug. So let's see if I can get back here. Oh, we'll be able to get in here just fine. Okay, good. So the striker bracket, self-tappers are the shit. I think I'm going to break the rules. Somewhere there. I personally think that putting this over top of the bed rug is fine. I would not do the lineup without having the bed rug down, but I think honestly, the bed rug up here is kind of thin enough that I'm not worried about this being a problem. You might have to, as it kind of pushes it down over time, maybe have to come in here and tighten it back down a little bit, but so now if all goes right, we should be able to put the toolbox up on the hinge, and it should close just fine. There we have the first swing case installed. Now I'm also going to adjust the striker plate here just to pick it up. You can make some little tweaks to it just so that it closes nice and smooth. There it is. Just tighten that down a little bit. And there we are. Really pretty easy installation. It's just a matter of taking your time and lining it up so that everything fits as it's supposed to. So they don't recommend installing it over top of the bed liner. I am going to see how that works. I'll do a follow-up Friday episode and share with you guys if there's any issues with doing that, but I don't think that the bed liner is thick enough to really cause any issues there. I think they recommend not installing it over top of the bed rug because you really can't see where you're lining it up in order to do that. Let's get the driver's side installed. Now, before we get too far, I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is RealTruck.com. I will link them in the description down below. They're a supplier of pretty much anything you could possibly imagine that you might need for your truck. So if you're looking for wheels, tires, performance mods, anything for your pickup trucks or SUVs, take a look at RealTruck.com. Again, I will link them in the description down below. As always, very much appreciate that relationship with RealTruck.com, and more importantly, the relationship with you guys, the viewers. Without you guys, none of this is possible for me, so I thank you guys very much. Let's get back to the install. Get in there. I missed the aluminum bed for being a YouTuber. Magnetic microphones. It's tight. Hang the box. There we go. Perfect. 2 toolboxes are installed. So now we'll transfer over all of the tools. These are all the things that I carry in the truck that I don't want floating around all over the place. Now, I did have an air compressor installed. It was affixed to the bed but easily removable in the F-150. So I carried an air hose. I'm not sure, I don't have that compressor here. I will try that in a future video if that compressor will work with the truck here. I'm not sure if this truck has enough power to run a compressor. So we're gonna toss this to the side for now. Oh, this is heavy. This is my WaySafe hitch. I absolutely love the WaySafe hitch. If you're like me and you tow a lot of different kinds of trailers, this setup is perfect, but I also 3D printed a little case to fit directly in this ReadyWares bag. But this is very heavy, and I don't want that floating around in the truck. I also have a little recovery. This is also from WaySafe. Toss this in there. I will grab the block heater plug. That can go in the toolbox, doesn't need to be in the cab. It's for the diesel. And I also have a funnel here, which I use for some fuel additives, things like that. So I'll toss that in there as well. So that will be the passenger side box. And now we'll get into the driver's side box. I try to leave the passenger side is set up as kind of like the towing-ish kind of stuff. And then for the driver's side, I get into more of like the actual tools that I want to have on the truck at all times. So here I've got some trailer locks, some Allen keys, an old key for some lugs on the old truck. I'll leave that in here because I might need that back again. That's the locks. Adjustable wrench, screwdriver, some more Allens, some bungee cords, toss those up there. Now we'll set the trays off to the side. Some rope. I bought this, I think I had this off Amazon, some rapid rope. It's always good to have some rope in your truck. This is a adapter for the power boost. I won't need that. Hammer. Tire repair kit. Breaker bar, I'll need that again in the future. A socket set, just a basic small little set. Not going to do a whole lot with this, but it is just a nice little 1/4 inch socket set. Be surprised how often that comes in handy. Some duct tape that just ripped open a garbage bag, so we'll toss that. Gorilla tape. Now this is something I learned in construction a long time ago, and it's kind of stuck with me. Trash bags are always good to have on hand. It's always nice to have some trash bags available, or if you're like me and used to drive around in some hoopties, trash bags are nice to lay on the ground. Don't really need that with the vehicles I have now. Having a power strip like this is nice for even having a bunch of batteries charging in the truck for cameras, stuff like that. So I like just to have a power strip on me because power in vehicles is becoming more common as time goes on. So that is kind of what I like to put in there. I'm gonna change some things up a bit. As you can see, I pulled out some tools that were related to the power boost, having the generator Pro Power on board. I don't know what I'm going to do for an air compressor, but I will have an air compressor component to this truck. So there will probably be, if not just a 12 volt compressor in here, something for 120. These cases are also fully lockable. Not only lockable, but also you can secure them so that somebody can't just take them out of your truck and walk away. So you have a lock on the top here. We'll lock that. It's locked, can't open it. And then you also have these little locks go in here. And with that locked in there, now you are not able to pick it up and carry it away. So that's pretty much everything that I carry on the truck. So with that being said, guys, RealTruck Swing Cases, I love them. I think they are a fantastic option for carrying tools in your truck. But when you also have a short 5.5 foot bed to be able to take them, pull them off, and carry them away, just gives you a lot more functionality out of your pickup truck. So I like the Swiss Army knife component of truck builds and making sure that the truck isn't being built in so far in one direction that you can't use it for other things as well. So I always look at flexibility when it comes to accessories, and I think the swing cases are probably one of the most flexible modifications that you can make with your truck. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to support the channel. I'll see you guys next time.